Hello, it is Thursday, April 6th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, which means some kind of ambitious or clever theme in store for us. And that tends to be how it goes. On Thursdays, we tend to step it up a bit. Yesterday was already a sort of, at least ambitious theme when it came to grid manipulation, so we'll see what's in store for us today. In any case, this potentially ambitious and interesting edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Kathleen Quinn, Quotidiophile, Overfall Hitbox, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark and the indomitable Shoalmaster. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do keep this channel going, as do all of my patrons of the Daily Solve. So thank you so much. If you are among that number, I do very much appreciate it. And if you'd like to become a patron, help directly support this channel, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field. And there, as a benefactor, you can get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug, or as any member, get access to all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel to date, as well as the new ones that go up each week. And I believe today there is another Boss Words Spring Themeless League competition puzzle scheduled to post. So look forward to that. If you are a patron, those have been going up on alternating days all week. Please do also subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not gotten around to that, and you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server in a link in the description field underneath the video. So, all that said, let's get on to today's puzzle. It's another debut. We've had quite a few of those recently. This is the first crossword constructed by Sam Buttrey, and it was edited, as always, by Will Short. So let's see what sort of thematic nonsense we have in store for ourselves today. Acronym of talks. The first thing that comes to mind is TED, as in TED Talks, but I don't know why that would need 4 letters, unless it were TEDs for some reason. The asterisk here indicates most likely that this is going to be a theme answer, and we can see a few more in the clues there. So, whoops, sorry about that. So we will have to discover what exactly that means. All right, we'll keep going. I don't know what it means yet. Muslim minority. Shia, maybe, as in the sort of Shia kind of sect of Muslims, maybe. Let's check the crosses on that. Jag. You could be on a bit of a jag, on a bit of a tear. Not sure. Vital statistic. Health, or health itself isn't really a statistic. Heartbeat, I don't know. Stats, e.g. info, information. So stats being an informal shortening of statistics in the same way info is of information. So the answers sort of match in that regard. And the e.g. means for example. Fire. I don't know. Why do I not see what that is? It seems like in 3 letters starting with an A, it should be obvious, but I don't see it. Fire. Ash doesn't really seem right. Bank employee. That's one of those theme clues. And a social split could be a rift, so sort of split between friends, for instance. Oh, a fire ant. There we go. Type of ant. So bank employee. Interesting. What is that meant to be? Sorry, this reminds me. I noticed a clue somewhere about Pennsylvania University for short or something, and did I just make that up? What did I read where I saw that? Maybe I just saw that in another crossword recently or something, because that would fit Penn here. Why would I have thought that? Sorry, this is extremely confusing. No, that must have just been in something else I saw recently. I don't really know what to make of that. In any case, but now I think it is Penn, because that would allow a jag to be a spree. So it is you're on a bit of a tear. You're on a bit of a spree. And then, why would bank employee be Penn? Maybe this isn't. Vital statistic. I don't know. I still can't see what that is. Kind of trip, an ego trip. Oh, height? There we go. One of your vital statistics if you're at the hospital, for instance. Okay, so it is Penn. Oh, right. It has nothing to do with university. I must have just seen that in a different crossword. So, and it was coincidentally aligned here. But I think what this means is a bank employee is a teller, and Penn and Teller is a sort of comedy magic duo. And so, in referencing Penn and Teller, we're getting sort of the other half of that duo is what comprises the bank employee. Wow, okay, interesting. So what would this one be? Acronym of talks. So maybe this is Ted. Is there Bill and Ted, the film duo. There we go. So these are both sort of entertainment duos, one fictional, one non-fictional, I suppose, but I don't know if they'll all be that way. But I think this is Bill and Ted. So the acronym of talks was indeed Ted. Sticks around for a race. Batons? Sticks literally used in relay racing, batons. Immediately recognizable. Ideable doesn't really, not anything. Thin layer. Why pregnant women are advised against eating raw fish. I don't know. I mean, presumably some sort of potential, I don't know, bacteria or something. I'm not sure. Strawberry blank, lemonade, Starbucks menu item. No clue. It doesn't ring a bell to me at all. Some drums informally. Tam drum? Tams or toms? Tom drums? Maybe? Oh, iconic, immediately recognizable. There we go. That's it. Strawberry. Oh, is it acai? The official sort of superfood berry of the New York Times crossword, maybe? I don't know of this Starbucks menu item, but it seems entirely plausible. So a thin layer is... I still don't see it. Right away, Chief, on it. Oh, lamina? That seems plausible for thin layer. Is that right? This looks like Nineveh. Yes, bygone city in present-day Iraq, once the world's most populous. I did know that Nineveh was once the world's most populous city in extremely ancient times. Am I spelling it correctly? I'm not sure. Oh, listeria. Is that why pregnant women are advised against eating raw fish? Oh, I still don't know if I'm spelling this correctly. I think it's spelled this way, with an E. Well, we'll just have to hope so. Alarm, if you alarm someone, you scare them. So this is two proper nouns, actually. Sort of, I guess if you consider listeria, I guess maybe it's not a proper noun. I guess it's not. Yeah, I suppose you wouldn't consider kind of that sort of language to be proper nouns. In any case, alarm is scare. Sell is vend. You vend something, you sell it. And drop-ins you could have to a, I don't know, university course or something. Colorful analogy perhaps. And a classic 1983 comedy, or a hint to what the answers to 4 pairs of starred clues are doing. They're trading places, as in the... Is it Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places, I think? And Eddie... Am I thinking of the right film? I think so. I can't remember if I'm thinking of the right 1983 comedy. I think I am. I think that's the one where Eddie Murphy is sort of put into a situation where he needs to become a stock picker or some kind of stock analyst or something, and he's sort of a pawn in a bet being made by the sort of wealthy people at some Wall Street financial firm. I mean, I've definitely seen the film, but I just can't remember if I'm remembering the right name. In any case, it fits the theme very well. So we're trading places, of course, here between Bill and Ted and Penn and Teller. So, all right, I'm certain this is the answer, even if I'm not sure I'm remembering the correct associated film. In any case, colorful analogy, right? We saw that. I wasn't sure. Survey choice, none of the above, maybe. And a bird spotted in eastern Samoa. A moa, that's a bird. And I don't know what the eastern is doing there exactly. Oh, I guess it's the east of the word Samoa. It's off towards the right side of the word Samoa. You can see it spelled in there. That's clever. All right. A colorful analogy is a simile. Yeah, I suppose so. A simile is sort of like a metaphor, but it would use the phrase, it would use like or as in within it. So you could say this is like that, and that would make it a simile as opposed to a metaphor. And it's colorful, I guess, because it often uses sort of colorful, interesting language, I suppose. I guess because it's sort of painting a picture in a way is what it means by colorful, as opposed to a strict analogy. In the sort of, puppy is to dog, as sort of Joey is to kangaroo or something. That's not really very colorful, whereas a simile is a colorful portrait. Anyway, sorry, I've lingered on that answer for too long. Comfy lodgings could be inns, taverns. Skin for one. An organ. Skin is an organ of your body, in fact. Hit off the end of the club. Hit off the end of the club in golf lingo. I don't know. Reason to stop. A red light, perhaps? And bass-like or bass-like. I don't know if it's referring to bass, the fish, or bass, the sort of, musical concept or instrument. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, deep. It is referring to bass in the sense of a deep note, musical note. Okay, so toad? Is it if you hit off the end of the club, are you said to have toed the ball? I'm not sure. Interfere, yes, interfere is metal. So there we go, it is toad. And sweet libation could be mead, maybe. Libation, a drink, an alcoholic drink, mead, that is, I think, a honey-based drink. Severely criticizes with on. Ends with an S, probably. Sought after. Desired. If something is sought after, it is desired. Yellow, so to speak. Not sure offhand. What you might think The Fast and Furious is about. Something drive or something ride. What you might think. What might you think The Fast and the Furious is about? Road rage. Right, okay. Because not just going fast, but also being furious about it. I see. Okay, very clever. And the question mark there, of course, indicates that this is a sort of pun or punny or sort of cute kind of clue. Short-term job could be a gig. M.A.E.G. is a degree, in this case, Master of Arts. Princeton Tiger rivals. It must be the Elis. I know that an Eli is how you can refer to somebody from Yale, so they must be rivals of the Princeton Tigers, I suppose. China problem. I'm wondering unclear if this refers to China the country or China the material, sort of porcelain kind of material. I don't know. I'm not sure. All right. Kind of wreath. Oh, sorry, this is another one of these, of course. Laurel and Hardy. There we go. So a laurel wreath, to, I don't know, crown someone for an achievement. And then Laurel and Hardy, the classic comedy duo. So that's another entertainment-related. I can't remember what these all have been so far. So Bill and Ted, Laurel and Hardy, Penn and Teller. Yeah, so they all have some kind of entertainment-related property. So maybe they all will. Sim in Brazil. Is that you? In Portuguese, air. I don't know if it is. So is it yes, maybe? I don't know. I don't know it. I really know essentially no Portuguese whatsoever. I can say obrigado. That's about it. Air. A four? Right, okay. So these are both, arguably either poetic or sort of quaint or outdated terms. And so the air meaning before, or afore being a sort of, I don't know, kind of dialect oriented or sort of old-fashioned or quaint way of saying before. You could see it in a poem. So they kind of match each other in that regard. At least I think that's what the answer is here. Martini, yes, you could specify dry martini, so less vermouth. And yellow, so to speak. Afraid, if you're afraid, you're yellow. Oh, right, so this is Chip and Dale. So Chip and Dale, in this case, so it's derived from the name of the furniture maker, which was also applied to the sort of male dancers. But in this case, we're referring to the cartoon characters, Chip and Dale. And a chip could be a problem with your China tea set or something. So it is referring to the material in this case. And we're maintaining this kind of entertainment-oriented theme. Cafeteria array could be trays on which you put your food. And severely criticizes with ons. Oh, I see, hates on, right? That's why I didn't quite get this, because I wasn't thinking of that kind of modern construction, the hates on as opposed to hates. Okay, because it means a slightly different thing, of course. Hating is something that you can do kind of passively, whereas hating on is an active action. All right, tall, what is that? In Spanish, I suppose? Is it alto or something? I'm not sure. Right-angled bend could be an L. And bananagrams pieces are tiles, I think. I think that's a game in which you sort of assemble tiles in some fashion. Part of a collage, perhaps. A clipping from a magazine, I guess. That seems plausible. Here's another theme clue. Able to endure difficult conditions. It's so difficult to spot these because you really do have to make the leap. You can't you sort of have to be thinking of two different things at the same time. But it just doesn't come to mind immediately. Complete. This could be a verb or an adjective. Entire? The entire thing, the complete thing. Green movement. Part of the eye. Oh, the iris is a part of the eye. That works. Black, Italian. Is it Nero? I'm not sure. I don't think it is. Something like that. Valley is a glen. This could also be Laurel. Oh, this could be the other half of Laurel and Hardy. I don't think. Oh, it is. It is. Wait a second. Do we have both in here? Oh, I did see Pennsylvania University familiarly at one point. I knew I saw that when I was sort of, I don't know, it must have been early why would that have come up early in the puzzle? Well, I don't know exactly, but I must have seen it at one point when I was scrolling around, because at one point I was scrolling around, and here it is. So this one is, sorry, what was the other one? Penn and Teller. Oh my goodness, it's all coming together. So here we had Laurel and Hardy. So we're going to have the other halves of all of these. So, now I just want to look at them and see if I can figure it all out. So an unwelcome bit of mail. I don't know if I've seen all of them yet. Hill's partner. Oh, right, this is Chip, because over Hill and Dale. And so that's the Dale, which is the half of Chip. So this one's the Chip, which is the other half of Dale. Oh, very good. Okay, so... Sorry, I know I'm sort of becoming very frantic all of a sudden after spotting that pen thing, but it unlocked the other half of the theme. So I'm very pleased about it. What else have we not solved? Unwelcome bit of mail. What else have we not seen? So Laurel and Hardy, Penn and Teller. Oh, Bill and Ted? A bill is an unwelcome bit of mail. So Ted is the other half of this one. There we go. Great. All right. I think we might have finished off the theme at this point. So now we can just solve the rest of the puzzle. All right. So refrain syllables could be tra-la, tra-la-la. That's a common refrain, or sort of, classic idle refrain you might sing to yourself. Bravo in the movies. Rio Bravo. That's a film, isn't it? Is that what that means? Something to get, I'm not sure if this is right. Something to get down. Oh, no, it is. Well, at least the I is correct, because something to get down from, you could get down from an eider duck. So down, the duck feathers, for, stuffing a pillow or something. Those who can, I suppose, are doers, people who do, who can and do. Fruits you might aptly buy in twos or pairs, I guess. There was a pair-related crossword reference in a game I helped make called Firewatch, referencing my crossword habit. Blank club, glee club, and apostate is... An apostate is sort of someone who betrays a faith. They kind of, renegade, I guess. There we go, yeah. And a date, this is a verb maybe. You date somebody, you're seeing them, you're dating them. Something he or she can use that you can't. I assume this is going to be a verb that's conjugated such that it can pair with he or she, but not you. But I'm just not immediately seeing what it is, so I'm going to move on. Common subject of a stress dream, a test maybe? Oh, isn't. He isn't, she isn't, but you isn't. Doesn't really work. You'd need you aren't. Okay. Family nicknames, sis, nickname for somebody in your family, a sister. And then high point of a sort could be a steeple of a church, for instance. All right, that all works well. So gas for a tank. Not sure offhand. Puts atop. Sets on. You set something on something else, you put atop it. Okay, so black was Nero. Okay, I should have gone with my instinct on that. Oh, propane. You could have a propane tank for, a barbecue or something. And tall was alto. And booty is, the spoils of war. You could sort of have booty, the kind of, lucre, the kind of ill-gotten gains in a way. I guess spoils don't need to be ill-gotten. Seek favor with, you could woo somebody, seek their favor. And a cowboy sometimes maybe is a roper, someone who lassos animals. Advantageous kind of position is... not sure. An old organization for Armenia could be the USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. And who's asking? You might yourself ask. So what is an advantageous kind of position? Why can I not see what this is? And PC brain is the CPU. Oh, pole position, if you're leading in a race, for instance. Okay, so there we go. Very clever theme. It didn't have the sort of grid manipulation like we did yesterday, which I often associate with Thursdays. But it was a trickier theme, I would say, than we've had so far this week, and that's perfectly normal for a Thursday. Very clever. So we had Bill and Ted making up our acronym of talks and our unwelcome bit of mail. We had Laurel and Hardy making up our kind of wreath and to be able to endure difficult conditions. We had Penn and Teller making up the bank employee and the long-hidden Philadelphia University, familiarly. What else did we have? We had Chip and Dale, which made up the China problem, and how am I going to find these? I should have done this via the list of clues so I could see the asterisks. And the Hills partner was the other half of Chip and Dale. And was that it? I think it might have been. Well, it's close enough. Apologies if I missed one. But there we go. Very clever theme. And indeed, they all were either fictional characters or sort of real-world entertainers, but they all were kind of entertainment duos of some sort, fictional or not. So nicely themed, both in the sense of the crossword theme and also in the sense of maintaining a theme, especially since our revealer, Trading Places, was itself a film, so a piece of entertainment. And there we go. Really nice debut by Sam Buttrey. I enjoyed that. Really enjoyed the sort of 2 moments of realization. It was a nice 3, I suppose, if you count Trading Places, but that one felt like less of a surprise. In any case, there we go. That was a fun puzzle. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Let me know how you fared with this one and when you caught on to what was going on. And when you caught on to each stage, I suppose there were sort of 3 stages of realization. In any case, let's quickly review a few clues from yesterday's puzzle, which I did set aside again today. So, Bora Rex, I think, has a nice, straightforward explanation of yesterday's theme. It was oversharing because the letters are shared over the squares. And that's just a very simple way of putting it that is more elegant than what I was doing. So there you go. Kathleen Quinn adds, also too many letters equals too much information. So we sort of have too many letters going on there. All the letters are doubled, so that's another touch. All right. Brian explains regarding the kneeboard and joystick clue, which dealt with aviation. A kneeboard is just a clipboard with a band that you can strap around your leg so you can write important things down while you're flying. And I don't think any self-respecting aviator would call it a joystick. They would call them the flight controls, or for a helicopter, the thing that looks like a joystick is called the cyclic. So there we go. Thank you for that explanation. Chasmart Designs explains that GTO, the common sort of sports car appellation, stands for Gran Turismo Omologato. And I knew the Gran Turismo bit, but I didn't know the O bit, so I didn't want to take a stab at it because I certainly wouldn't have gotten that right, so thank you. Scholar 2013, this is very interesting, who is an Arabic-speaking Christian and the god-granddaughter of 9th generation missionaries of Islam, would like, so I think a person with a claim to authority on this front explains, well, she says, it is my pleasure to inform you that Al-Fatiha means the opener and is the name given to the first of 114 chapters of the Quran. By the way, happy Ramadan to all Muslim viewers, patrons, and subscribers. Excellent explanation. So the opener, Al-Fatiha, thank you. And thank you for the Ramadan wishes to all who celebrate it. So there we go. And then, I think that was it. That was all I had. All right. Well, that was that for today's crossword and for yesterday's clues and for today's video. So thank you so much for making it to the end of this edition of the Daily Solve. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow for the first of 2 themeless editions of the crossword. Hope you join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.